Ladies and gentlemen, it's a real pleasure to be here with you today and in the annual Capital Link Invest in Greece Forum, discussing, I would say, a very important topic with Greece's economic growth and what's next. What we have seen over the last few years, we have seen an economic recovery. We have seen an achievement of investment grade which is higher than the Eurozone average. We have seen a significant growth in GDP and an expected growth for 2025, the year to come. We have also seen significant foreign direct investment and growth in strategic sectors, which was just discussed, of renewables, where we have seen significant growth, while at the same time there are other sectors that have been thriving. So this discussion aims to focus on what happens next. It's evident that Greece is open for business, but we want to explore the opportunities and challenges that lie ahead. And we have the privilege to have with us Mr. Alexandros Exarchou, CEO of AKTOR Group, to help us in this discussion. So thank you, Mr. Exarchou, and I will start with the first question. Does Greece currently present an investor-friendly environment? And is there a clear growth trajectory to sustain long-term economic development?
Last 3 years, we have invested more than 500 million in the Greek economy, both in terms of construction business and, of course, through our participation to the famous, or not very famous, story of Attica Bank. With, I believe, significant success, because exactly what I think is that Greece has managed to change the perception of the Greek economy. Whether the Greek economy per se have changed to such a way so as to be certain that in the future we will continue growing, that's another matter. But I believe that the greatest success that the Greek government in the last few years has achieved is to significantly change the perception of what's going on in Greece. From this point onwards, I have said several times that it is not correct, in my opinion, to give to what has happened the attributes of victory. We have saved the Greek economy, I agree, and it is a huge achievement. Having created an economy with the stability of the current government and with a pro-investment government that does everything that it can at the level of the highest central government, to attract investors, it's huge steps towards the right direction, but we should not give that the attributes of victory. The Greek economy has not been saved yet. We have to look at what's going on and what is coming in terms of 2032. We still have an economy that largely depends on tourism and internal consumption, and we should change this model. If we fail to change the model early enough to be able to react to what's coming in 2032 when we will start repaying the debt, then I'm afraid we may find ourselves in very tricky position towards 2030 or 31.
Thank you very much. And while Greece, it's a fact, as you've said, has made significant strides in improving the business environment, bureaucracy and regulatory complexity remain challenges that hinder investments and economic growth. So how do you believe that bureaucracy and the regulatory framework impact Greece's economic growth? And what further reforms are necessary in order to enhance efficiency and attract investment?
It's what I said earlier. I mean, we have a chance to change the perception that the Greek economy is going towards growth. We still have to fight with nightmares of the past, like the public sector. The Greek public sector still moves at a different pace, is not able or is not willing to follow the government's initiatives. Very often they react negatively to it. It is very difficult to change the deep Greek state of the public sector. One huge example is the NYSE, the rail trains in Greece, a serious reflection of the hindrance that the Greek public sector may create to the attempts of the government to grow. Also, what I really need to flag here is the delay in dispute resolution mechanisms in Greece. I mean, investors need certainty and need speed. If you have a dispute in Greece and you rely on Greek courts, and I'm looking at some people here that they're very well accustomed to what I'm trying to say, the investor may face a lifetime in order to resolve a dispute. And obviously, this is not on. So there are some serious reforms that the government needs to take seriously and make early enough, I said, before we face again the nightmare of the huge debt.
Thank you for this. AKTOR Group, the group that you lead, recently announced a very comprehensive transformation initiative. What spurred this decision, and what milestones are lying ahead?
Well, AKTOR, some of you may know, is one of the largest and well-known Greek construction companies, and construction currently in Greece is booming. Funny enough, in Europe, the only place that one may say that all elements to grow on the construction sector is in place is Greece. So currently, today, there are two jurisdictions that I believe in Europe are in a condition that Greece can hold itself to be, which is prime in terms of a public work project, and it's Greece and Romania. So therefore, everything looks booming for Greek construction firms. Everybody has very huge backlogs. The projects are profitable, and why they are profitable? Because nobody is willing to enter in project where will sustain loss because of the number of projects ahead of us and a number of projects already secured. But this doesn't last for a lifetime. We all know that construction sector has its peaks. I believe that for the next 3, 4, or 5 years, construction sector in Greece will continue going to the growth direction, and it will be booming, but I'm expecting a deep change on that when the RRF will be over. So therefore, we need to prepare ourselves for what is coming, and hence the new investment scheme that we have announced of an amount of 2 billion euros to prepare a company for a period when construction will not be as booming as it is today. So we are expanding in related sectors. One is, of course, real estate. You are aware of the scheme that we're buying a number of properties, high-end properties with high-end returns at the level of 600 million, and we are investing an amount of about 1.5 billion euros in renewable energy, which I believe, for various reasons, that Greece currently offers a huge opportunity for anyone to collect significant amount of renewable energy as we speak today, with the problems of the curtailment that I expect that the government will eventually look at it and solve it. However, the existence of curtailment currently presents a huge opportunity for anyone to collect a significant number of megawatts in terms of renewable energy. And this is what we're doing. We're investing heavily on this one. Concession is another element which we are particularly interested to participate, but this is a different animal. You cannot buy easily or you cannot find easily concessions. In any case, and there are some competitors to us which are way ahead from us on this one. We don't expect that we will change the map within a couple of years, unlike renewable energy, that we believe that we have the room to expand as aggressively as we think that we are able to do it currently.
So, real estate, renewables, concessions, do you envisage that all these sectors will enhance your current construction business?
Absolutely. They are based on the idea of the competitive advantage we may have on the back of a very strong construction activity. I mean, all these are activities related to construction, and we think that the advantage we have, having been able to reduce the capex of these investments through the construction entity of ours, give us a significant competitive advantage.
And going to the question, what's next when it comes to Greece and when it comes to the sectors that you are into as AKTOR Group? You referred to construction that for the next 3 to 5 years, you envisage that there is potential for growth. What about the other sectors? We've heard a lot of things about renewables from the panel earlier, but what about real estate? What's your vision on these sectors as well, the other sectors in which you're going to be, you have already invested in?
As I said, I believe that real estate in Greece is currently cheap in comparison to other European states. Eventually, the prices will go up. I expect that the need of housing in Athens, for instance, is such that will give a boom in terms of pricing, and already is highly expensive. So therefore, whoever invests in real estate in Greece today will look at significant uplift in the future. So this is the reason for which we're investing 600 million in this one. And renewable energy, as I said, it was a period where everybody was doing it. Now it's less easy, I would say particularly risky for people that do not have the necessary means in order to develop renewable energy very fast. The curtailment, which is a huge problem and will increase the risk and the bankability of several projects, is again another difficulty, which however poses opportunities for us. And I believe that renewable energy, on the back of what we're trying to do, is a significant opportunity for the group of ours. That's why we are spending a significant amount of money.
Thank you for this. I mean, besides all other investments, and we are all aware that the Greek banking sector plays a pivotal role into the country's economy, AKTOR Group's investment in Attica Bank signals confidence in both the sectors as being resilient and having the potential for growth. So, your investment in Attica Bank represents a very significant step, and I was just wondering what drove this decision and what outcomes do you envision out of it?
I'm very happy with really happy with this one. Well,
single word answer.
Yes. 2 years ago, I mean, everybody was of the opinion that we have lost our mind in spending anything, never mind the amount we spent, in trying to rescue initially Pancreta Bank and later Attica Bank. Both of these entities were really very close to bankruptcy. There were absolutely no sense in spending anything to rescue them per se. However, we saw one thing, and it's very related to the beginning of our discussion. The Greek state needs and needed to change the perception of the Greek economy. And you cannot do that with only 4 banks, never mind how big these banks are. And you cannot do that by letting other smaller banks go bankrupt. So we felt that it was absolutely necessary for the Greek state to find a way to solve smaller banks than the systemic, mainly because they need more than 4 banks to operate in Greece, simply. And this is why we took the risk to invest a significant amount of money to a scheme at the time looked particularly difficult. It's a scheme that Mrs. Vretou actually proposed to me 2.5 years ago. At that time it looked particularly impossible. I would say it was impossible to some extent. But based on what I told you, our belief that it is not conceivable for the Greek state to allow these 2 banks to go bust, at the same time that the Greek state was envisaging to create the perception of growth in Greece and actually achieving investment grade, we were fairly certain that a solution was to be found. And a solution was found, which was Iraklis number 3. And now we are facing with a situation where we have created within, actually Mrs. Vretou, we supported the dream of Mrs. Vretou to some extent by paying money and assisting in several negotiations. We ended up today holding 57% of a bank which is properly capitalized with no or any liabilities whatsoever, and a prospective growth would give us the belief that it will operate as a significant competitor to the other 4 in a sector that the 4 systemic banks, because of their size, are unable to cover as well as one would have hoped. So I believe the size of the bank and the fact that it is new, it's very aggressive in terms of how it intends to participate in competition, and with the proper funds in place, is in a very good position to achieve its business plan. If it does so, we will be very, very happy majority shareholders.
That's truly great. So we have discussed numerous things. I mean, a lot of things have happened. A lot of things have happened in the Greek economy. And as you've said, economy has been saved. Nevertheless, there are a series of reforms that need to take place. You made a mention to the judicial system, which is very important. Timing when it comes to conflict resolution, which is of extreme importance. And when it comes to your business, construction has a very positive outlook for the next 3 to 5 years, while at the same time, you have put together, you have transformed your organization into a group that can diversify from constructions, and at the same time, you have invested in a different group, that of banking. You have invested in the banking sector, seeing great potential, while at the same time, the outcome of a successful business plan, I believe it will be very positive for your organization. So I would like to thank you very, very much for this discussion. I do not know whether you have any final remarks.
No, I have every belief that the Greek economy, the way it goes, will continue growing. I see that the government is reacting to the markets properly, and it sometimes corrects itself when it decides to take measures that they are not welcomed by the market. So therefore, on the back of this, I have every belief that Greece will continue growing in the next 5 years, and investing in Greece is, in my opinion, the advisable thing to do.
Thank you very much. Thank you all.